Hello? What did you say? Here's the point. Hey ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jamie and I'm one of Luke's really good close friends. I'm going to be... Say it again?
Best mate.
Best mate? Bloody, well, I didn't get one of these waistcoats. When Luke and Liz first approached me to speak in front of the wedding, I thought, I'm not sure, I don't like being centre of attention. I don't like speaking in public, but I'll do it this one time for Luke and Liz. But tonight, guys, we're going to be listening to us hearing from a few of the males. So we've got Luke, Rob, Neil, and then the best men in that order. Okay. So without further ado, we are going to start with a guy who I hold very dearly in my heart. Luke is a very close friend of mine. I've known him for a very long time, grown up together, and he's one of the only people who you've got to be more wary of when he goes quiet than when he's talking, because you know he's done something. Because what you'll find is there'll be a vibration of the shoulders, and then an abruption of a chuckle, and then everyone will laugh with him together. So can you put your hands together for the groom, Mr. Luke Thomas.
Thank you, Jamie. Well, thank Christ for that. Finally married. Third time lucky. I'll try to keep this speech short and quite sweet, like my best men. It's so lovely to see many of our family and friends here today to help us celebrate the third happiest day of our lives. Behind Poppy's birth, Swansea's playoff win and promotion to the Premier League. I'm joking, Swansea winning the League Cup was unbelievable as well. I know many of you have travelled a long way to join us, so my wife and I would like to thank you all for coming, and without you all here today it wouldn't quite be the same, but by Christ it'd be a lot cheaper. Throughout this speech I'll ask you to toast quite a lot, so make sure your drink's topped up. And you only have to stand to toast if I tell you. You can sit for most of them. I'm going to be a bit bossy. So if I tell you, you'll be up and down all the time. I'm doing loads. Also, if you could refrain from... Dudley, refrain means don't do it, right? So refrain from drinking the shot on your table until the end. That would be great. I know Lee is looking forward to the food today. Firstly, I want to thank the wonderful Thomas and Dudley family. Thank you all for all the memories, laugh and support over the years. We feel blessed to have you all in our life. A huge shout out to my sportive brother, who has paid for many of my drinks growing up, sneaking into idols with no money and his ID. And I'm pleased to announce that this tradition has continued as Gus has paid for the welcome drinks and the table wine. So please could you all raise a glass to my wonderful brother, to Gus. And now on to Mum and Raggy, Dad. He'll kill me for saying that later. I'm pretty sure everyone in this room would like to thank you for producing an incredible son. As Gus calls me, golden balls. I couldn't have asked for better parents, and I want to thank you for everything you've done for me, whether it's teaching me how to play football, going up to the school to discuss my energetic behaviour with the teachers, or fixing the sink that has somehow fallen off the wall in university. We've been through some tough times as a family, but both of you are incredibly strong and a true inspiration for all of us, through sickness and in health. And now you are wonderful grandparents to our beautiful Poppy. So the second toast of the day is to my wonderful parents. Raise your glass to Christine and Raggy. Right.
Happy Raggy! Happy boys!
Right, now on to the in-laws. Where to bloody start? Thank you so much to all the pharaohs who make me feel so welcome into the family from day one. Tina and Neil, you've done an incredible job in creating such a kind, caring, strong and beautiful woman who I'm lucky enough to now call my wife and for Poppy to call Mummy. So I'd like you to raise your glass to the Pharaohs.
Thank you.
Neil has also promised anyone, if he's at the bar, he'll buy you all a drink, so don't worry. But please do not ask him about hanging off a lamppost in Liverpool after having 3 shandies.
It was 2.5.
I'm going to do this bit quite quick. This is a bit I've been dreading from the start, to be honest, so just bear with me as I get through as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, it's not been possible to have everyone we love here today, but we know they're here with us in spirit, and they're not only in our thoughts but forever in our hearts. We miss you, and we know our grandparents Myra, Ken and Tony will be watching over us today. So with that in mind, would you all please stand, raise your glasses and join me in a toast to absent family.
Well said.
Right, you can all sit down now. Thank you.
Well said, Luke.
Right, moving swiftly on. I'm sure you will all agree that the maid of honour and bridesmaids all look amazing today. A special thank you to Amy, who has had the pleasure of organising not 1, not 2, but 3 hen do's. All the 5, is it? 5. Christ. All the girls have done a great job in keeping this calm, and I wrote here, helped her get somewhere on time for once. Well, it didn't really work out, so I'm going to take that thanks back, but which I think in itself deserves a toast. So could we raise a glass to the beautiful bridesmaid? Talking about my wife, I only had a couple of instructions when writing this speech. Make sure you don't make it too long and try to include me and not all about the boys. So with that in mind, Liz, I've written you a poem. Roses are red, violets are blue. Today I officially love you as much as I love Lou. No, in all seriousness, you've done an amazing job in organising this wedding 3 times, and I can't express how grateful I am. From picking the theme, the flowers, the band, the food, the suits, everything really. I know it's all new to all of you today, but honestly, a lot of today is a surprise to me. And I think you'll all agree she's done an amazing job. You look absolutely stunning today. I feel privileged that you've said yes, although I don't really blame you. It was a very romantic proposal. I'm going to set the scene. Sun setting in Hawaii in the most beautiful harbour. The sky a mix of reds, oranges and yellows. The waters below mirroring the colours. The clear waves tinting the shades of the sky. The golden sun shining on the golden sand. I thought, this is the perfect moment. Let's go to Magic Island, I said. As I said, as the most beautiful sun continued to set. Liz replies, my feet are hurting. Instantly, I knew the 5-minute walk was going to be a challenge. But as most of you know, Liz loves the sunset, so feet hurting or not, I knew she would power on through. We finally made it to Magic Island, and it was unbelievable. And Liz was very happy, but with very tired feet. So I let her sit down. I took a deep breath, palms sweating, beautiful sky and golden sunset, golden sand, remember? I got down on one knee and said, Les, will you marry me? You're supposed to say oh on that bit, but should we do it again? Right. What did I say? Beautiful sands, sunset. Les, will you marry me? Thank you. Now, normally, Liz is a very cool, calm and collected person. So Brookie, Mila, Harry, Arthur, Sarah, Tom, Poppy and Florence, that list is growing all the time, please close your ears. Liz's response was, what the fuck are you doing? And to be honest, I didn't know right then. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? After a long pause though, thankfully she said yes and then began to cry, and who would have thought it 4 years later, we would be tying the knot. Well, where did our love story begin? We met in Newark. Liz used to sell tickets for events in Revs in Cardiff, and she came around the house to sell us some. I did not know this as I walked into the kitchen singing, so here's my number, so call me maybe. And then as I closed the fridge, I saw this blonde bombshell sitting there. I went redder than the ketchup I used on my delicious meal I cooked. Can you remember that meal?
It was boiled chicken,
Boiled chicken.
eggs and vegetables.
Yeah. With ketchup. Bulking. Bulking on a budget, yeah. I'm sure it was my culinary skills that wowed Liz. However, our very own Cupid, Christopher Bamfield, invited us to a party at Liz's house the next day so I could redeem some of my pride. Again, I managed to embarrass myself in the party by singing every word to a One Direction song with Jamie George, but this time, Liz was a massive One Direction fan, so I managed to impress her, and we spent the evening dancing and drinking together. I'm gonna move on. We then spent the next 5 weeks going on lovely dates, including rowing, walking, picnics, cinema trips, nights out and talking about Swansea, which she enjoyed, I'm sure. We then went long distance for 3 years, spending a small fortune on train tickets. We finally moved in together after I got a job at Greenfields. I'm not sure where the 10 years have gone since we've been together, but it's been incredible. We've been on countless holidays together to some lovely places and some interesting places. If you don't know already, if you ever book a holiday with us, it will not go smoothly. Whether it's going exploring beautiful places such as Paris, Madrid, San Francisco, Cos, Hawaii, and one for you, Jamo, Treco Bay, or Tunisia, where a man used to pop out of the bush and say, marijuana? Every night. Going to Rhodes and finding out they've actually changed our hotel without us knowing. It's very embarrassing getting off that bus when you're going, yep, this is me. Nope. Or going camping for the first time was pouring down with rain and our tent flooding, or even being in Hawaii when there's a Category 5 hurricane on the horizon. I feel very blessed to have found my soulmate, and we have bought a home together, brought Bella into our life and our little family, and more recently our beautiful Poppy. I didn't think it was possible to love you anymore, but then we had Poppy. Seeing you with her makes my heart burst with pride and happiness. Liz, you're an amazing woman who deserves a wonderful husband. And I promise you I won't rest till we get to the bottom of what's going wrong here. No, seriously, we've now lived together for a long time, but I haven't married the woman I want to live with. I've married the woman I can't live without. So could you please stand and raise your glasses to my beautiful wife, the one I love, Melissa Jade Thomas. You can sit down. To be honest, we are blessed to have such wonderful friends, from the Woofties and the Wafties to our Slopian friends. You have no idea how much you mean to us, and we appreciate all of you. It was such a tough transition moving from Swansea to Shrewsbury, and I had some dark days, but all of you made it a lot easier. So thank you. So don't get up for this one. Just raise a glass to great friends. Now, on to the groomsmen. Don't listen to what everyone's saying about you. You look great today. And the bloody best man and master of ceremony, I think it's fair to say that Jamie, the Mazda George, has done alright introducing the first speaker. I'm glad that's a private joke. So thank you for taking on that role, Jamie. Although, if you see him at the bar and think, I'll have a chat with him. He seems a good lad. Don't bother. You will end up talking about the Iron Man he did, or end up paying $29.99 a month for a swimming program you'll never use. Lovely bump. Thank you to the best men for organising the stag do twice. Well, I say lads, I mean thank you Lewis and mainly Morgan for organising the stag do twice. And for Dudley.
For coming.
Thank you for the fancy dress, especially the Cardiff Shitties kit. A real highlight. Although I did have a lot of compliments from the women saying that pink blouse you bought me from Primark was actually lovely. I lost my dignity, my Garmin watch, and you literally left my new Converse in the apartment, walking past them going, Luke's shoes are there. Luke's shoes are there. And I think for the first time in my life I had a 4-day hangover, so I think you'd call that a success. In all seriousness, these lads are unbelievable friends, and we shared so many good times together, and I love you like Lewis loves gin. Dudley loves beatboxing, and Jamie loves bats. Before I hand over to the Master of Ceremony, let me give you a quick summary of the other speakers. One of the speakers is a dirty Leeds supporter. Another yeah, right, so you can get your booze ready again. Another supports Wanky Wanderers.
Oh, mate.
And for those of you who don't know my best men, well, let's just say one's first aid trained and sounds like a Dalek. And for the other, his mind's wandered and it's never come back. Jimmy, that's you. What's that now?
Where are you?
They all love to make up stories from their own imagination, so please humour them and feel free to heckle. So with that in mind, listen, I thought it'd be a good idea to help you get through the next couple of speeches as we've tied the knot. Please have that shot. Thank you.
Bloody hell. I think we can all agree that was absolutely outstanding, Luke Boy. You didn't even use your teacher voice. Okay, so next up, guys, we're just going to get straight into it, keep the ball rolling. So we've got a guy... Sit down. So you've got a guy who... Say it again? Oh, sorry. So the guy coming up next, guys, I haven't had the pleasure of meeting until this morning. But what I will say is if he can produce an absolutely amazing person like this, he's not done too far wrong, eh? So the father of the bride is next to speak, guys. We've got Neil Farrow.
It's Pharaoh. Where'd you get him from? God, I hope you're not on an hourly rate. Right. Good afternoon, everybody. How do you follow that? I've got the serious speech about lists, and I've got to follow Luke. Anyway, let's go. Good afternoon, everyone from England. Thank you. Prynhawn da croeso un ffrindaw o'n Cymru. Thank you very much. Have a great day. What is that? What is that though? Is there anybody from Wales who actually understood that?
I was trying.
Right.
Oh, no, welcome from Wales.
What it was, boys, it was for the Welsh people I'd like to welcome you. Keep it up. Right, I've got to get on to the serious side because Liz is looking at me. For those who don't know me, my name is Neil. I'm the dad of this quite beautiful bride. I would like to welcome and thank you all as either family or special friends for being part of this fantastic day for Liz and Luke. I can't tell you how hard I have worked and spent hours and hours preparing probably one of the funniest speeches of all time. However, despite all my best efforts, I've ended up with this one. So get yourself a strong drink and please go easy on me and laugh at the correct places. When I did my late dad's eulogy just over 10 weeks ago, I thought that was really tough, and it was. But when setting eyes on Liz this morning, wow. As well as the proudest, this is probably the hardest thing I'm ever going to have to do. Especially after following Luke. It is Luke, isn't it?
Mr. Thomas, yeah.
Oh, Mr. Thomas to me, eh? I got detention. All right, 5 press-ups. Firstly, I would like to share a text I received from Heather at Liz's hen party when meeting in the Alb in Shrewsbury, sent at 25 to 1. It simply said, "Oh my God, Liz looks fabulous. If she looks like this on her hen do, I can only imagine the wedding. So you're going to need a hanky." Melissa Jade.
It's not fitting you, that, is it?
Not fitting me, you're coming on nicely. Hey, this is the serious bit anyway. Melissa Jade, it's not often I'm speechless. But today, on seeing you, you quite simply took my breath away. You just look absolutely stunning. You look so beautiful, and most importantly to me, you look so happy. I'm sure I speak for your mum, who I would imagine too, is probably holding back the tears. But we are so proud of you today. You have always been to us both the most wonderful daughter anyone could ever wish for, and personally, as I stand here, I am the proudest man in Shropshire by a country mile. Clap. Nice that, wasn't it? I would also like to echo Luke's tribute to both his grandparents and of course Liz's granddad and my dad, who I know will be looking down from the fairways in the sky and raising a glass to this wonderful couple today. But a couple of early thank yous. Firstly to my 2 sons, Liz's brothers. Well, they would be, wouldn't they? Ricky and Hal. When I asked them both, "Listen boys, can you give me anything remotely funny or interesting about Liz that I can use in my speech?" After much thought, Ricky replied, "No." Followed by Hal saying, "Not really." So thank you so much boys for your invaluable contribution to the day. It was very much appreciated. Now I'm going to be sad for a minute, so I do apologize. On a very negative note, but it has to be said, there were 15 minutes when I wish these two, Liz and Luke, what it will be, had never actually met. It is very sad, but true. And I sort of remember it quite well. It happened 20 past 2 in the morning in the early hours of Saturday, 16th of April. On Luke's stag weekend, when I found myself all alone in Liverpool city centre, hanging onto a lamppost for dear life. But I can assure you, after 16 hours, not 2.5 shandies, of socialising with the Welsh boys, this motley crew, that particular Scouse lamppost became my very best friend for that full 15 minutes. So my second thank you goes to Joshua Anders Stand up, Josh. Just want to make a fool of you. Josh Anders. And the Welsh boys, whoever found me that day, who kindly found me and bundled me into a black cab for the remaining 150 yards back to my hotel. And just a word of warning to those who haven't met this Welsh crew. This lovely table here, be careful, you've been warned. They're very quiet, but very dangerous people. As most of you know, Liz is always very organised. Enjoys being in control. Not a great fan of not knowing something or surprises. Strengths and qualities that make her the daughter, teacher, friend and mother she is today. However, she's also not slow to put her mum, and especially me, into place at any time. In fact, my last rollicking off list was a yard outside coming in today. Don't let me dress! Even today, I have received an envelope from Liz stating Dad, private and confidential. Can you open that for me? I am so sorry, Liz, I didn't have the time to open it, but I will do now and share it with everyone. If that's okay with you, Lou. I have no idea what this is. Oh, God. Dear Dad. Now look here, Fard. Please remember this is my day. So during your speech, please, Dad, can you breathe in? Don't dribble. Don't spill your food down your tie. Check your zip before standing up. No dad dancing, do not ad-lib. Mention Luke. Speak nicely about Wales. And whatever you do, don't speak in your Welsh accent. That's it for now. Enjoy your day. Love, Liz. And there's me thinking there was a voucher for the olive tree here. On a serious note, today I have the privilege to be giving our daughter, Melissa Jade, away in marriage. But it only seems like yesterday. Liz was born 31 years ago, for those that know her age. We remember it well. Obviously Tina, probably more than me. But I always remember wetting the baby's head the day Liz was born by standing on the chairs singing, "Isn't she lovely?" to anyone in the Anchor Frankwell who cared to listen. As a child growing up, Liz and myself had a really special bond. Football. Both playing and watching. At just 7 years of age, when most of her friends, Tiss, Trigger and Backpost Barnet, were catching up on the latest rendition of Rosie and Jim. 8 o'clock every Saturday morning, we were doing an 80-mile round trip to play football in the South Lancashire League against Manchester and Liverpool teams. I spent hours and hours and days with Liz as her team manager, both training and on the line, from under-7s through her teenage years, right through to her signing and playing for Wolverhampton Wanderers ladies. They were fabulous days and so many great memories, and I have to say this beautiful bride was a pretty good player. However, our shared love and passion was following our team.
Should I say a few words?
Wanky Wanderers.
Liz was a season ticket holder from the age of 7, and every Saturday after she played in the morning, we were straight off to watch the Wolves, whether it be home or away. Although Liz, like many, enjoyed as a child horse riding, riding a bike with pink tassels, hide and seek, and probably kiss chase, but the thing she loved most was a Wolves away day. Dressed head to toe in gold and black in her early days, wearing dresses made by her mum, we would travel all round the country with the Wolves Travel Club. 30 to 40 coaches in single file, and wow, did Liz love her
Convoy.
correct convoy. She loved a convoy. If ever you want to buy something, buy a convoy. Often more than the match. She was always counting the buses, had to sit near the front of the bus to help the stewards, and often loved helping with the raffle. I do believe these days were a great help to her teaching career though, as the average IQ of the Wolves fan on the bus was about that of a 6-year-old. Her school children she teaches must marvel Liss's geographical skills, as by the age of 10, Liss knew exactly where Norwich, Middlesbrough, Southampton, Reading, Bury, Swindon, Derby, Port Vale, Blackburn and many more were on the map of the UK. You probably haven't been to these places, like those are Premiership sides, see. I had to get it in. Some quick memories I will never forget. Derby away. Liss, being just 9, volunteered at half-time in front of 4,000 travelling Wolves fans to take penalties against the Derby Ram. For those not sure, he was the mascot. Against a boy picked from Derby, twice Liss's age, Liss stepped up left foot top corner to a massive cheer from the Wolves fan behind the goal. That was one hell of a proud dad moment. The first time Liss and I went camping was when we queued for FA Cup quarter-final tickets for Southampton. 7:30 on a freezing February Friday evening, we stood in the North Bank Molineux for a mere 14 hours, as they were not on sale till 9 o'clock the Saturday morning. All night, no sleep to get tickets. Do you remember? Liss was highly entertained though, as around 30 of a Wolves subway firm stood behind us all night. What an eye-opener. Even then, as tired as she was, once she got her tickets about 10 o'clock in the morning, we drove 40 miles home, had breakfast, and then we drove 40 miles back to watch them beat Tranmere Rovers 3-0. Poppy Thomas, you have a lot to look forward to following the Swans. However, good times had to end. From a days of loving the two mascots, Wolfie and Wendy Wolf, you could write this. As a 6-year-old, I remember the day my little girl changed to a young lady. It was around 5:15, 7 minutes to play. We were beating the mighty Gillingham 2-0, and I simply said to Liss, would you like to get some autographs after the game? She looked up, smiled and whispered, to be honest, Dad, I would rather have their mobile numbers. It finished 2-0 if anybody's interested. They were just fantastic, magical days with Liss. So much time spent together on and off the field. Certainly ones I can look back and I will never forget. Today's very special for many reasons. Not least of all, being able to welcome Luke officially to our side of the family. We have not only gained a son-in-law today, but a family who will become very close friends for years to come in Rob, Chris and Marcus. And of course the 27 aunties, 47 nieces and the 111 nephews that seem to have down in North South Wales. There's hundreds of them. Not to mention the friendship of the entire Swan Army. 3 of them. Of the friends supporting you both today. I remember one of the first times I met Luke, he came round to the house and as a peace offering, he gave me a CD as a gift, saying, have you ever seen The Life of a Jack? I thought, to which I said, no. By the way, my name's Neil and you are? Sorry, Luke, I still have to confess, I still haven't watched The Life of a Jack. Luke is a great guy. I took to him straight away as we share the same passions in life. Football, a pint. Football, another pint. Football, okay, one more pint. In fact, when Liss and Luke ever come round for a meal, food is always served around whichever game Luke is watching that day. Whether it be Premiership, the Swans, or as interesting as Telford United versus Chorley. I may seem very biased, but I don't think Luke realises how lucky he has been meeting someone like Liss. How biased, isn't it? Not because she was beautiful, blonde, and with a sense of humour, but he had actually met someone who knew and understood the offside rule, has a better left foot than Luke could ever dream for, has scored more goals than him, and been to more away grounds, and also supports a better football team. The day Luke approached me to ask for Liss's hand in marriage was a magical moment. Being a father of just one daughter, you can only imagine. It was a once-in-a-lifetime moment for me, never to be repeated, hopefully. It was a moment you will always remember where you were, and in true Luke style, I was certainly not disappointed. We were 8 pints in, 3 cocktails, and on our 5th shot when the moment arrived. I even recollect he called her Wiss. Like I said, a truly magical moment. And now the future for Mr. and Mrs. Thomas. Really, you only have to look around the room today at the wonderful family and friends both Luke and Liz will share together. To me, says it all, and what a wonderful future of both love, fun and friendship you will both enjoy in years to come. The arrival of your most beautiful daughter, Poppy Eleanor Marie Thomas, has put the icing on the cake, and thank you both for making us all such proud grandparents. You really are such a wonderful couple with friendship, fun and love for all of us in this room to see. And with the arrival of Poppy, not forgetting Bella, you now have a lovely family of 4. We are so proud and excited for you both. The future is yours. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like you all to join me in a toast for Mr. and Mrs. Thomas, Liz and Luke.
Listen, Luke.
Thank you.
Luke. Can we team in a toilet break with this? Yeah. How do you go? Go now then, I think. Yeah, you going?
Where you going, boys?
Have we got 2 best man that can stand in, please?
Nervous wee.
Okay, guys, 2 minutes on the clock. Quick. Let's go. Okay, guys, we're going to continue with the speeches for the evening, okay? So, the next person to speak not only had the torrid task of bringing Luke up throughout his childhood, but also bringing up the Gosainon Football Club under 8s all the way through to senior football, which I think was probably a harder task than bringing Luke up, to be honest. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce the next speech, which is Robert Raggy Thomas.
Hi everybody, you know me by now, so I'm not going to introduce myself. I'm not going to keep you long because we had War and Peace from Neil by there, didn't we? So mine is going to be short and sweet, boys and girls. First, I'd like a big thank you to the Stags who went to Liverpool for looking after my boy. Because when you're on the other side and he's bladdered, he's dressed up as a nurse, he's jumping about, you've never seen anything like it in your life. So thanks, lads, for looking after him. Well appreciated. Also, a big thank you to the taxi drivers of Liverpool, because 2 of the Welsh Stags would still be up there now if it weren't for them. And you know who you are, don't you? I want name Jamie, Scott, right, I'm going to spell out the word now, which I can feel it in the room here. So I'm going to start with the word L. And L is for Luke and Liz. Congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Thomas. O is for the organisation here today. Liz, you've done a tremendous job. Luke, you did do a little bit here and there. I gotta say. Over the past 4 years since it's been done. Brilliant. V is for this venue. What a place. What a place this is. Liz, you've done it up tremendously. E is for everybody here today, because all of us have had a hard 2 years with everything that's gone on. So the word spells out love, and I can feel the love in this room today. Thank you very much. Right, going on to my son Luke, born the 21st. That's a bit of a joke in our family, because we can never remember our birthdays. Well, Luke can't anyway. 24th of the 1st, 92. Believe it or not, he wasn't a bad kid growing up. He's pretty good. He was pretty good. Pretty good. If he did misbehave, that's all we had to do was take his football away from him and his Xbox. He'd throw all his stuff around in his bedroom and we'd leave him out 5 days later. He was all right after that. He only come out because we didn't feed him as well. So when he was growing up, we lost him for a few years. I mean, 4 or 5 years we lost him for. It was the years he supported Man United. You didn't know that, did you? Did you all know that? Remember them years? Remember them years? I had to decorate his bedroom. And as a Leeds United supporter, I had to put all the wallpaper up. Put the light shades, red and white blinds, pillowcases, bed sheets, the lot. The lot. I had to do everything. I was physically sick walking past that door every time I went to bed. Physically sick. And worst of all, he had an alarm clock, right? And it, glory, glory, Man United. Glory, glory, Man United. Glory, glory, Man United. And it's so much on. Listen, he has wised up a bit now. He's supporting his local, well, when he was here, when he was down back home, his local team, the Swans. So, up the Swans, come on! As the boys have said here, me and Uncle Alan in the corner over there, we run the under sixes to 16 when Luke was a player, and I mean all his mates here today played in our team. You boys? Hey. Oh, hey, we've only invited the good ones. We had some great times. We went on tour and we went down to Kiln Park. So, remember them? They were great days. So, a little toast to Gysynam Boys Club, please. During Luke's comp days, he loved everything to do with sport. Academically, we just couldn't get him to do anything at all, honest to God. Rugby, football, he just done a lot. When it was football on, he couldn't wait to get out the front door. If it was double maths, he was about 2 hours late to get into school. So when he was leaving comp, with pretty good results really, seemingly he only liked sports, it wasn't surprised that he wanted to do sports in college and uni. So off to Cardiff with Lewis and Jamie George, but I gotta say, I think it was more for a piss up really, you know. Excuse the language, sorry. Yeah, they had a good social life and a little academic work. There wasn't much done there, I gotta say. As he said, I had a couple of phone calls some weekends. Dad, I've pulled the sink off a wall. In the shower, drunk. Can you come and fix it, please? Up I go on a Sunday. And then Jamie Dudley broke his lock. Dad, Jamie's broken into my room. Can you come in? Can you come up and fix it? So we were up there like every other weekend. I was fixing something in the flat there, or the apartment where they were. But it was rough there. They picked some nice places to stay. I'm telling you now. Even the rats had overalls on. So, after a few weeks up there, Luke was coming home regular, and then all of a sudden, there was a little blonde girl in the background of the photos. And Christine said, that's my wife, Christine. Christine said, this girl keeps appearing, this little blonde girl. This little blonde girl kept appearing. So Luke then, it was very infrequent that he come home. He even started doing his own washing up there. Yeah. Why? So over the next couple of years, travelling... Are you all right? So over the next couple of years, travelling from Swansea to Shrewsbury, Luke decided then, after passing out in uni, he decided he was going to stay up in Shrewsbury. Well, he shared a house with Tina, Hal and Rick, for a couple of years. Couldn't wait to get out, Luke, could you? Huh? Let's be honest, did it? Well, anyway, and since then they both got good jobs, local schools. Decided to buy their own house, and finally got engaged. And to add to the partnership, they now have a beautiful daughter, Poppy, and given us.
Go on, Rob, boy!
Go on, Robbie.
Deep breaths, Rag.
Need your rag.
Can't see.
On to the next bit.
Go, Lou.
Go, all right.
A great granddaughter. Oh, God.
Go on, Rag, right?
Who we dearly love and cherish. Sorry about that. So, summing up, we are very proud of the man Luke has become and his achievements in life. Now he has a wonderful wife and daughter, and we would like to wish them
Come on, Rob.
health, wealth and happiness for the future. A toast to Luke and Liz. So, I got a little joke to say now. So, two Welshmen looking over the land. Well, one of them was a landowner, and he had a little handyman with him. So the landowner's looking over his land now. His name was Lewis. You know the guy. He doesn't do much work. Slightly tanned. You know? White teeth. immaculately dressed. And his sidekick, Dudley. Now, Dudley is handyman, he does everything. You know, he's got his polo shirt on, Lewis Estates, his cargo trousers, and one of them belts that got every tool you could think of. One of them. So they're looking over and Lewis says to Dudley, he said, look at this land of mine, full of sheep. You eat them, we roast them. Literally. Yeah? I didn't say the other thing. So they're looking over the land and he said, look Dudley, he said, them 2 cottages down there. Yeah, Dudley said, yeah. Dad, when you talk to me, call me boss. Okay, Lou. No, Dad, call me boss. Okay, Lou, I'm talking to you. So look at these 2 cottages. He said, on the right one by there, there's a doctor living there. He's a genealogist. Wow, Dudley said. Wow. Wowie. And the one on the left, he said, there's another doctor. He's a gynecologist. Wow, Dudley said. Wow, that's unbelievable. So Dudley's like this now. You know, he's smiling all the time. So Dudley said, what's the difference between them then? What's the difference between them, Lou? Oh, Lou, big smile on his face. See, the one on the right, the genealogist, he looks at family trees. And the one on the left, who's a gynecologist, he looks at family bushes. So Dudley's saying, oh, hey, Lou, if they got a problem with the trees and bushes, I got a tool that'll fix that. Thank you very much.
It's the one we've been waiting for. So when Luke was deciding who he wanted to be his best man, he thought, right, I need someone with at least 2 brain cells to organise the stag, put up a blinding speech, run the day. And he looked at his cousin Dudley and thought, he's going to need a hand. Lewis Jones. Handsome, intelligent, stand-up guy. And he doesn't get nervous at all in front of people, so...
So, I'm actually going to pass you on to my esteemed colleague, Jamie Dudley, because he's going to start the speech off.
Hello everyone. Well, I haven't wrote this down, but I'm going to keep this speech tall and fat, just like Luke. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and Luke, my name is Jamie William Dudley. And if you're childish like my mates over there, they call me Jamie Willy Bum Dudley. I met Luke because he's my cousin.
Sit down, I go now.
He's like a brother to me, as the saying goes, like a brother from another father. Oh, sorry. In school, teachers used to think we were twin brothers. Blonde hair, blue eyes, and the same height. As you can see now, Luke's a lot taller than me now. He's Peter Crouch, and I'm Abby Clancy. We used to do everything together. We even bathed together. Times were hard back then. And what made them worse was our parents' cars, shitty and shaggy. I could see why my parents' car was called shitty, but I couldn't understand why your car was called shaggy. Auntie Chris, why was this?
It took a lot of action in that car.
Dirty buggers. Me and Luke loved playing football. Luke was always a lot better than me. He was good in many positions. So Liz, I hope you can say the same after tonight. I remember the first time I found out about Liz was when Luke posted a photo on Facebook of them rowing on a lake in Roth Park. What sounded like the perfect date didn't go to plan. Like most men, Luke thought he could take the lead, but lasted only 5 minutes. If that.
I laugh at my own jokes, man.
With Luke's useless rowing, Liz had no choice but to take over. If it was for Liz, they would still be stuck there today. This just sums up their relationship perfectly. Right, where am I? Hold on.
You're in the TP,
Oh yeah. Hold on, where am I? There we are. Growing up, me and Luke were very naughty little boys. As Luke's nan would say, we were partners in crime. And she wasn't wrong. I'll tell you a couple of stories. There was a man called Jeff. My name's Jeff. That our parents knew quite well. He was always chewing chewing gum. So our parents nicknamed him Chewy. But Chewy did not know this. Well, me and Luke clocked onto this. One day we walked over the rugby club and bumped into our parents and Jeff. He said, "Alright boys?" And me and Luke in our childish voice, "Alright Chewy." Our parents were mortified. I'm going to leave you with one of my favourite stories. There was a man next door to my parents called Gareth, who we called Pigeon Man, as he owned a few pigeons. Me and Luke tormented him by soaking him with water pistols and kicking balls over his garden. Well, anyway, a ball went over his garden and we asked him if we could have it back, but he didn't reply. I said to Luke, "My mother told me Gareth is deaf." So what did Luke start shouting out? "Deaf-ho! Deaf-ho!" But still no reply. We thought, oh, he must be deaf. The next day, we saw Gareth outside in the garden throwing our ball back. So we went out to thank him. But before Gareth went back inside, he turned to me and Luke and said, "By the way, boys, I'm not deaf." Over the years, we became best friends with this clown. The partners in crime became the Terrible Trio. He's a man of few words, but he is great at rugby tackling Christmas trees.
Oh, yes.
Go on, Lee.
Thanks for that, Dudley. So, to those of you that don't know me, I'm Lewis, I'm one of the best men. For those of you that do know me, alright? So, I met Luke when he joined us at Garden Village Football Club. Great club. I thought this guy, he's a bit of a player. And we could definitely be mates. So I was pleased to be invited over Luke's house after school one day. Although, when he turned on the TV and proceeded to sing all the words to Mona the Vampire. To this day, Luke, I don't know why I've continued to be a friend. The first time I invited Luke over my house, he watched me step in dog poo and let me walk it all through my kitchen, all through my hallway. And he waited for my mother to shout at me. And then I had to introduce my mother to my new friend Luke. Whilst he stood there giggling, his shoulders like a little schoolgirl. From then on, it was constant pranks on each other. Before leaving Luke's house one day, I stuck a pencil in one of his apples in his fruit bowl and just left it there. It was all forgotten about until a week later we were up Lucker Rugby Club. We had many games of pool, many pints of beer. And me, Luke and Duds were stood together and I seen Raggy jump up out of his seat. And he shouted, "Oi!" I thought, shit, he knows. Raggy ran towards us, but he ran straight past me and punched Dad straight in the arm. And said, "Don't mess around with my bloody fruit," he said. So, Luke's had many nicknames over the years. Bambi has always been one of my favourites, seems to slip and fall over all the time, and trust me, there's far too many stories to choose from. Grandpa Luke was a strong favourite, as Luke was the only 14-year-old bloke we knew who, whilst on the caravan with the boys, went to buy a newspaper every single morning. It wasn't difficult to pick a favourite school memory of Luke. That day was non-school uniform day. Well, Saturday morning in assembly in our normal clothes, Luke enters late, the only person out of approximately 200 people in our year to be dressed fully in school uniform. I couldn't help but shout, "Well then, Lukey boy!" To which he replied with a strong middle finger. Our headmaster caught wind of this. So not only was Luke in school uniform on non-school uniform day, he also had to spend it in detention. Like Luke said, Luke and Liz had a few brief meetings, but I believe they first met properly in good old Revolutions, Cardiff. Of course, it was a classic love story. Their eyes met across the bar. They may have shared a kiss or two that night, but Luke has always been a gentleman. He never kiss and tell. And the rest was history. From then on, in university, it was absolutely insufferable living with Luke. Blasting Boyce Avenue every morning, singing endless love songs in the shower. But that's not my favourite memory of Luke in university. So, Adam was coming up for a night out in Cardiff. Naturally, myself and Luke had to make it a night to remember. Luke definitely succeeded here. After a long night on the beer, we got split up and wandered home separately. I was enjoying a McDonald's with a housemate, Josh, and there was an almighty bang upstairs. And water started coming through the ceiling. We ran upstairs to find the bathroom door locked with Luke inside. We barged the door down, expecting to find Luke passed out in the shower. Little did we know what we were actually about to see. Let me paint a picture for you.
Anyone need the toilet? Leave now.
The shower head was hanging out the bath, pumping water onto the floor. The sink had been ripped clean off the back wall. And Luke was laying incapacitated on the floor in his birthday suit. And we all know what else surrounded him.
What was it?
It was Brownlee.
We all know. My immediate reaction was to run to Jimmy George's room to wake him up because he just had to see this. Josh, being a little more caring, decided to ring an ambulance. By the time the ambulance crew arrived, Luke managed to get himself into a pair of pants. The crew then had to assist Luke down the stairs, and thinking this couldn't get any better, halfway down, Luke couldn't help but let out a little fart. To which we all laughed. From that day on, Luke, I knew I wanted to be a paramedic. Sorry, both. So the last part, I'd like Jamie Dudley to stand up with me.
Oh, sorry. I thought you finished.
And now we got that out the way. Liz, I just want to say well done for putting together such an amazing day. It was a long time coming, but third time's a charm. Everything happens for a reason, and it's great that little Poppy got to be a part of it. And she's making a few appearances out today, and she looks adorable in each one.
We would also... Oh. That's why I got one brain cell. We would also like to say how beautiful the bridesmaids look. Sorry. Who've only been outshone by the bride herself, who looks incredible today. Luke, you don't look too shabby either.
Thank you for letting us be a part of your special day. I don't ever want to plan another stag do in my life. But if anyone's got a 5 pence and wants to play Save the Queen, Neil's sitting there. And I assure you, he won't get you back.
It's been a privilege to be best men, and we wish you both all the happiness and health in your marriage. Everyone, please join us in raising their glasses to our best friend and beautiful wife, Mr. and Mrs. Thomas. Oh yeah.
Oh, no. Well, what is it? No, I don't want it done that. Oh, sorry.
Oh no!
I was so upset, I forgot a little part that I was good. So I'm going to give Liz now a bag of change so she can tip the waiters and waitresses, because she doesn't like tipping. Or she didn't like giving pennies to tip. She only likes giving notes, so there's a plenty there for you.
Everywhere I go with Rob, when we say let's give a tip, he gets out his coppers.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, but there's £50 worth of coppers in it. It's all legal tender. And this this we bought for Luke. This is actually the Thomas Welsh tartan. So this is the Thomas Welsh tartan tie. Thank you very much.
And that's it, guys. We'd just like to give it one more time for the speeches. We got Luke Thomas, Neil Farrell, Barrow, Robert Thomas, Jamie Willie Bum Dudley, and Lewis Paramedic Jones. Thank you, guys. Enjoy your night. Food.